ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः Namaste, my dear friends. Today I am giving you one very good video on Ellam Ondre, that means All is One, a wonderful book that was prescribed by Bhagwan Sri Ramana Maharshi to his devotees. He used to say, if you want moksha, write, read, and practice the instructions in Ellam Ondre. Bhagwan Sri Ramana Maharshi. On another occasion, Anamlai Swami says that on another occasion, when I asked Bhagwan to select some reading material for me, he gave me a short list of 6 books: Kaivalya Navnitam, Ribhu Gita, Ashtavakra Gita, fourth Ellam Ondre, fifth Savrupa Saram, and sixth Yoga Vasistam. He laid particular stress on Ellam Ondre, telling me, if you want moksha, write, read, and practice the instruction in Ellam Ondre. Who said this? Anamlai Swami, where it is occurring in the book Living by the Words of Bhagwan. A French devotee who could not speak English and was living in Sri Ramanashram during my last visit asked me to go with him to the Anamlai Ashram for a visit on some personal matter. While I was there translating for this devotee, I noticed Anamlai Swami's book Living by the Words of Bhagwan for sale. I immediately purchased it, and while reading through it found the reference to All is One. I somehow became keen on knowing more about this book and asked in the Sri Ramanaswaram book depot if an English translation of this Tamil book was available, even though it was also noted to be recommended by Sri Bhagwan in Day by Day with Bhagwan. No one could give me any information about it. 4 or 5 days before my departure, something made me remember that probably in the Anamlai Ashram I could find out some information about the book. The ashram manager told me it was only available in Tamil and that the last English translation had been printed privately sometime around 1950. However, he had a photocopy of that translation and allowed me to copy it for myself. Around the same time, a French devotee with whom I had earlier discussions about the book came to me and showed me the French translation. In spite of it being printed in Pondicherry, she had purchased it in Paris. I am now sending it to you because I think that we should make an effort to publish it for the benefit of devotees and Advaita students, even if it is in the form of a small, inexpensive brochure. It appears that this 19th century anonymous composition was highly valued by Sri Maharshi, and for this reason alone, I am sure many will be interested in studying it. A letter from Eurico MS Sraiva, Lisbon, Portugal. Table of contents. Each chapter contains 10 points for your contemplation meditation. This book was created from a scanned copy of an early translation and differs from some other versions that appear to have edited this earlier version by changing or adding wording. Our only addition to the original text was to add the missing number 7 to the appropriate point in chapter 2. We have also added a table of contents with hot links to various pages as well as a few photos. The chapter number 1 is unity, number 2 is you, number 3 is God, number 4 is peace, number 6 is action, number 6 is ego. Man court happiness and shun misery. It is the same with other beings also. This holds good for the common run of mankind. But the higher order is bent upon right conduct, enduring patiently the good or evil, that it may bring fellowship with these be lasting, whereas fellowship with ordinary people not be. Good will result to the world through fellowship with the higher order only. The question then arises, what is right? The point is important, but the answer has not been found. Why? Because what is right is determined by circumstances. However comprehensive a work may be written on the subject, there will always be circumstances not envisaged by the author. Therefore, it becomes necessary to realize that state which will enable us to assess the various conditions and determine what is right. That state is only, that state is one only. There are no states like it. Although it is single, it is extraordinary that the worldly wise consider it exceedingly rare. Nothing can be more extraordinary than this. That unique state is very clearly taught in the Upanishads. In this book, I have put down the same truth according to my understanding. I have considered it my duty. I do not claim originality. The six chapters of this book are so closely interrelated that some point which may be expected in one chapter may be found in another. Again, a few points which may not be clear on a superficial reading will become clear upon closer study. More may be gathered from major works or sages. Universal Mother, Master, True Sivas, author. Now, before I start the book, let me say some few words. See, there is a word called absolute. That absolute word is actually related to Brahma because everything in this universe is originated from Brahma. Brahma is one. So, the source of this world is one. Our soul is part of Brahma. Soul of every living being is the source for every Atma is Brahma. That means the source of my Atma, your Atma, and Atma of others is the same. That means that is one. Atma of everybody is one because that Atma of everybody is connected to Brahma. So everything is unity. There is no other. There is no second, third, and fourth. Everything is one. Divinity is one. So keep this in mind whenever we say myself, yourself, himself. This is nothing but related to Atma, Atma and Paramatma both are one. So this unity we have to keep in our mind, then only you can understand this book. Because this book was liked by Maharishi too much. You have to go through this book many times. You have to sit, contemplate, meditate on its contents, then you will be able to understand. Just by reading and listening, it may seem to be unclear, but when you sit and contemplate, you will understand. Keep the clue what I have given that everything in this universe is originated from Brahma, the God that is one, only one, only one. So this unity is indicated by in all the chapters of this book. So now the first chapter starts. The chapter is unity. First point, all including the world seen by you and yourself, the seer of the world is only one, I told you. Because everything in this universe is originated from the Brahma. That means source of everything. Sentient or insentient is Brahma only, therefore unity. Second point, all that you consider as I, you, he, she, and it is only one. Why? Because everything is originated from Brahma and Brahma is one. Three, what you consider to be sentient beings and what you consider to be insentient, such as earth, air, fire, and water is only one. Why? Because the source of everything is Brahma. That's why everything is one. Fourth point, the good which is derived from the good which is derived by your considering all as one cannot be had by considering each as separate from the other. Therefore, all is one. Fifth point, the knowledge of the unity of all is good for you and good for others as well. Therefore, all is one. Because everything is connected to Brahma. Brahma is only one. Source of everything is one. Therefore, something is good for you. It will be good for others. Sixth point. He who sees I am separate, you are separate, he is separate, and so on, acts one way to himself and another way to others, he cannot help doing so. The thought I am separate, others are separate is the seed from which grows the tree of differing actions in relation to different persons. How can there be any lapse from righteousness for a person who knows the unity of himself with others? As long as the germ of differentiation is there. The tree of differing actions will flourish even unaware. Therefore, give up differentiation, all is one only. All things are originated from a single entity, that is Brahma. Seventh, ask if in the world all things appear different, how can I consider all as one? Is there any way of gaining this knowledge? The reply is, in the same tree we see leaves, flowers, berries, and branches different from one another, yet they all are one because they are all included in the word tree. Their root is the same, their shape is the same. Similarly, all things, all bodies, all organisms are from the same source and activated by a single life principle. Therefore, all is one. What is that single life principle? Brahma. Because every sentient or insentient is originated from Brahma, and Brahma is one. Brahma is one. Eighth point. Oh God, man, oh good man, is the statement that all is one, good or evil. Think for yourself. Just as the person will always be righteous who regards himself like others and others like himself, how can any evil attach itself to him who knows himself to be others and the others to be himself? Tell me if there is any better way for obtaining good than the knowledge of unity. Certainly, other methods cannot be as good as this one. How can anyone love others more than when knowing them to be himself? To know them in unity, love as unity, for they are truly one. Ninth, who can share the mental peace and freshness of the knower of unity? He has no cares. The good of all is his own good. A mother considers her children's well being to be her own well being. Still, her love is not perfect because she thinks she is separate and her children are separate. The love of a sage who has realized the unity of all far excels even the love of a mother. There is no other means of gaining such love than the knowledge of unity, therefore, all is one. Number 10. Know that the world as a whole is your undecaying body and that you are the everlasting life of the whole world. Tell me if there is any harm in doing so. Who fears to go the harmless way? Be courageous. The Vedas teach this very truth. There is nothing but yourself. All good will be yours. Yeah, you become the good itself. All that others gain from you will be good only. Who will work evil to his own body and soul? A remedy is applied if there is an abscess in the body. Even if the remedy is painful, it is meant to do good only. Such will be some of your actions. They will also be for the good of the world. For that reason, you will not be involved in differentiation. I put it briefly, the knower of unity will act as one. One should. In fact, the knowledge of unity make him act. He cannot err. In the world, he is God made visible. All is one. Next chapter, number 2. You. First point. Who are you? Are you this body? If so, why are you not aware of a serpent crawling on it when you are in the deep sleep? So, then can you be this body? No. Certainly not. You must be other than this body. Second, sometimes in sleep you dream. There you you identify yourself with someone. Can you be that one? You cannot be. Otherwise, what becomes of that individual on your waking? You are not he. Furthermore, you are ashamed of having identified yourself with him. Clearly, you are not that particular person. You are the one that stands apart from him. Third, recall the state of dreamless slumber. What is your state then? Can what you be true nature? Can that be your true nature? Surely you will not subscribe to this belief. Why? Because you are not so foolish as to identify yourself with the massive darkness which obstructs you from knowing the state you are in. Discerned by the intellect from the things around, how can you admit yourself to be the same as ignorance or blanks? Or how can it truly be your real nature? It cannot be. You are the knower who knows that this state remains one of dense darkness veiling your true nature. How can you be that which you have experienced and condemned? Therefore, you are not the dark ignorance of deep sleep. You stand apart from this too. When it is said that even this gross body is not you, can you be any other thing which is yet farther away from you? In the same way that you are not this gross body, you are not anything farther from the body, nor the dream person, nor the ignorance of deep sleep. You are distinct from these three states and this world. Fifth point. These three states can be reduced to two conditions only, namely the one of the subject and object, and the other is the unawareness of the subject on itself. The former includes the waking and dream states, whereas the latter represents deep slumber. All your experiences are comprised in these two conditions only. Both of them are foreign to you. Your true nature remains distinct from them. 6. If you ask what that is, it is called Turiya, which means the fourth state. Why is this name used? This name is proper because it seems to say the three states of your experience, waking, dream, and deep sleep, are foreign to you, and your true state is the fourth, which is different from these three. Should the three states, waking, dream, and deep sleep, be taken to form one long dream, the fourth state represents the waking from this dream. Thus, it is more withdrawn than deep sleep, also more wakeful than the waking state. Seventh, therefore, your true state is that fourth one which is distinguished from the waking, dream, and deep sleep states. You are that only. What is this fourth state? It is knowledge which does not particularize anything. It is not unaware of itself. That is to say, the fourth state is pure knowledge which is not conscious of any object but not unconscious itself. Only he who has realized it, even for a trace, has realized the truth. You are that only. Eighth, what is there more for him who has gained the fourth state? Practically, it is not possible for anyone to remain forever in that state. That is the state of no particular knowledge. He who has realized the fourth state later wakes up in this world, but for him, this world is not as before. He sees that what he realized as the fourth state shines forth as all this. He will not imagine this world as distinct from that pure knowledge. Thus, what he saw within, he now sees without any different form. In the place of the differentiation of old, he is now established in the state of non differentiation everywhere. Now he is all. There is nothing distinct from himself. His eyes closed or open, whosoever the things may change. His state remains unchanged. This is the state of Brahma. This is the natural eternal state. You are that ever true state. Ninth, there is nothing beyond this state. The words inward and outward have no meaning for him. All is one. His body, speech, and mind cannot function selfishly. Their workings will be grace for the good of all. The fragmentary I is lost forever. His ego can never revive. Therefore, he is said to be liberated here and now. He does not live because his body lives, nor does he die because his body dies. He is eternal. There is nothing other than he. You are he. You are he means you are Atma. Simple. Don't be confused. Number 10. Who is God? He is grace. What is grace? Awareness without the fragmentary ego. How can one know that there is such a state? Only if one realizes it. The Vedas allowed such a one as having realized God and become one with Him. Therefore, the greatest good that one can derive from the world and the greatest good which one can render unto it is to realize this state. In fact, there are no states besides this. They appear in the state of ignorance. For him who knows there is one state only, you are that. What is that state you are talking? Here, the state is nothing but Atma. Atma and Brahma, do not separate them. Atma and Brahma are one. That is what unity is. Brahma and Atma of mine, yours, there, and everybody's Atma is the same as Paramatma. So this is what unity. And this Turiya and all is nothing but the state when you recognize your Atma. Okay. What is realization? When the veil of mind, veil of ego, veil of maya, veil of vasanas, they are removed. So Atma shines in the form of I. So the whole this body starts vibrating with the thrilling action of I am Brahma. I am Brahma. Myself and Brahma is not separate. We, myself and Brahma, one. No difference. So this is the gist of this chapter. Next chapter is God. First point, who is God? God is He who has transcended all that is seen by us. He is beyond everything what we see in this world. If transcending this world, is there no relation between him and this world? Not a particle here is unrelated to him. That means everything is related to God. Then what is meant by transcending the world? The world comprises us and the objects seen by us. In other words, the animate and inanimate together form the world. What shall we say of him who created the beings and things? Of these two, we say the conscious beings to be superior. All that we can all that we can apprehend is that he belongs to the higher order of beings known to us. Our intellect cannot proceed further. Thus, our Creator is superior to us. He cannot be apprehended by our intellect. Therefore, His name transcended being. Kadabul means that He surpasses our intellect. Hence, His name is Kadabul, transcended being. Number two, can God then not be made known to us? Not quite so. In a way, He is known to us. This much of His grace is enough for us. We have no need for all His greatness. He has made known so much of His greatness as will suffice to eradicate our misery. There is no reason for Him to reveal a jot more of His power than is necessary to remedy our defects in the present state. Thus, He is known according to our needs. Nay, He is in our grasp. However, limitless, He is within reach of our knowledge to some extent. Third, what is it which brings him within reach of our knowledge? That he is known as being consciousness bliss. Sat Chit Anand. Satchidanand Savrup. Being denotes that which is imperishable, that which exists forever. Being means Atma. Being means Brahma. Remember these things. Do not be confused by these words. Being means Sat, which is ever existing, which never perishes, and that is God and Atma. Should he become non existent at any time, who is his destroyer? Who created him, since the perishable nature of all leads to the inference that they are lorded over by one who is imperishable. This important this immortal overlord is God. His imperishable nature is being, that is Sat. Sat means that is ever existing. Now, what is consciousness? That is called chitta. By consciousness, we mean knowledge. This is absolute knowledge and not like our erring intellectual knowledge. Irregularity or mistake cannot stain its actions. It is knowledge, pure and simple. Frequently, he teaches us saying, your knowledge is irregular and erring. How orderly are even the insentient objects of his creation. It is known to many how an atheist was taught a good lesson when he derided the scheme of things, saying, why did he make the seed so small for the banyan tree which is so big? That an insentient thing is found in good order and later becomes useful implies a conscience agency at work. Can a simple insentient thing do something which is possible for unfailing knowledge only? Or can't it be done by our inadequate knowledge? No, it can never be. Therefore, God is said to be consciousness, chit also. Now, what is bliss? It is the state of being free from desire for anything. It is peace which is ever full. Were he to desire anything, how could he be better than ourselves? How could we gain bliss from him? He himself would require another being to fulfill his desires, but who would think him to be so? The state of self contentment is that of bliss also, therefore, he is called bliss Ananda. The three, being, consciousness, and bliss, are inseparable. Otherwise, they would become not individually. Hence, he is known as being consciousness, bliss, Sat Chitti Ananda. Thus, God remains not only transcendent but also falls within the reach of our knowledge as being consciousness bliss. See here, what is actually knowledge? We study physics, chemistry, biology, commerce, engineering, medical sciences, and all this is called secular knowledge. And this knowledge is belonging to this body. But the knowledge about Atma and Paramatma, that is the actual knowledge what we are talking about. Knowledge and knowledge and knowledge. Otherwise, other than divinity, the knowledge of objects in this world, that is secular knowledge, and it is not at all knowledge. Knowledge of divinity is carried forward after this body dies. But the knowledge of chemistry, physics, biology, and all dies along with this body. Remember this. These are the things we have to understand. Fourth point. He who has gained the fourth state and sees all as one only, he knows God truly as being consciousness bliss. Words cannot express nor the ear hear how such a one is united with God. It is a matter of realization, but there are ways and means for such a realization. They can be spoken of, learned, and acted upon. Just now it was told that being, consciousness, and bliss are inseparable. Why? See, what is being? Being means God and Atma. That is existing forever. What is consciousness? That is Atma. So Atma and Paramatma inseparable. What is bliss? The basic nature of this Atma is Anand. So Anand and Atma cannot be separated. So being, consciousness and bliss are inseparable. Because bliss is the nature of God, bliss is the nature of Atma. Atma and Paramatma are same. Therefore, being, consciousness, and bliss are inseparable. That is unity. Fifth point. He who can be realized thus is God. He has no name, we give him a name. He has no form, we give him a form. Where is the harm in doing so? What name is not his or what form is not his? Where is the sound or form in which he is not? Therefore, in the absence of true knowledge of him, you can name him as you please or imagine him as of any form, so to remember him. Your hope for his grace without any effort on your part is utterly fruitless. Should it be possible to have his grace without any effort on your side, all would be alike. There would be no reason for any difference. He has shown us the ways and means. Make effort, reach the goal, be happy. Your idleness and selfishness make you expect His grace without your effort. The rule for all is for you too. Do not relax your efforts. God can be realized by your efforts only. So we have to put effort. How we put effort? We go for self inquiry, we use austerities, we regulate our diet, we make our body healthy, we observe various rules, we have to speak less and truth. So we have to put effort. See, we have to purify our mind. We have to direct our mind inwardly. We have to direct our ego inwardly. We have to eradicate our vasanas. We have to have control our tongue in two ways, by speech and by taste. So we have to put efforts. Sixth point, there is an effort which excels all others. This may, however, appear to be less effective than devotion to God with name and form. Nevertheless, this is the more efficient. It is simply the love which you extend to all beings, whether good or bad. In the absence of such love to all, your devotion to God amounts to a mere parody. Of what use are you to God that you seek fulfillment of your desires from God without doing your duty toward the needy in the world must be attributed to your selfishness. In God's presence, there is no use for such. The workings that take place in His presence are all unselfish. Therefore, think that all the centers are His and He is in all the centers, and thus He devoted to Him. God is truly bound by such a high devotion. See, we pray to God. Our prayer must be selfless. There should not be any selfishness. So, selflessness is the basic tenet of prayer. Whenever we make a prayer to God, we request anything, we demand anything from God, make sure that demand must be on behalf of each and everybody in this universe. Oh God, give me peace. No, oh God, give all the living beings on this earth peace. Oh God, shower your bliss on all the living beings on this earth. Oh God, make all of us healthy. Never say for me, never, never, never. That prayer will never be granted. Your prayer can be granted when the prayer is not having the selfish demand. So your prayer must be selflessness. It must be combined with selfishness. There should not be anything like selfish. Seventh point. As you go on ascribing names and forms to God and showing love to all because you have understood all names and forms to be His, your mind will gradually mature. Just as the taste improves with the ripening of a fruit, so also you will recognize the waxing of good and the waning of evil in you. As your mind matures, there will come a time when you should meet your master. This is not to say that you go to search of him or he comes in search of you. At the right time, the meeting will happen. All are moving in their own ways. Your fitness brings you together, makes you trust him, makes him teach you the right way, also makes you follow his instructions. That is the state way to reach God, which is to gain the fourth state. You will follow the way and teach your goal, which is being consciousness bliss, which is God. So, never be selfish. Even while praying, pray on behalf of each and everybody, be he good or bad, be your friend or foe, irrespective of in what way one another is related. Always pray for the welfare of everybody without any selfishness. So you must be selflessness, not selfishness. So your prayer must be with selflessness, not selfishness. Eighth point. The way shown by the Master is final, state, and making for unity. It is well tried, natural, and free from pain. When you are following the way shown by the Master, doubts will not arise. There will be no fear, or not fear and doubt, the characteristics of the ways of darkness. How can they meet you in the way of truth shown by the Master? In this manner, the way will itself speak to you and say that it is the right one. In that way, there will be nothing more for you to do but to meet your Master and learn from him. That way will be familiar to you as the Master and God have made it so. Before you, he had treated the way, he has shown you the way, and you are following him. To how many will you show the same way? And how many more will follow the same way later? Obviously, fear and doubt have no place in the way of truth. When once you have taken a step forward, you will step back. The Master's help is only for the first step forward. You need not do anything for your Master in order to have the way shown to you. Know him to be the messenger of God sent down to disclose the way to the fit who have become ripe by their own efforts in either or both the direction mentioned earlier. It is God who sends his godly messenger just when you are ripe. Remember this. See, when your mind and you are completely purified, your ego is purified, your vasanas are gone, bad vasanas are gone, negative vasanas are removed. That time you are a ripe soul, you are a ripe sadhaka. That time God will send someone as your preceptor. God Himself may come or may send some other person, or see, remember, it is not bodily presence because God is what? Energy, power. So you will definitely receive the help of God in one way or the other way. It may be physically, it may be subtle ways. So don't worry, but you will be definitely given help by God. Ninth, practice with faith in the period of ignorance is called bhakti. The same with knowledge is called jnana. Of the two divisions of bhakti, the one is devotion to God with name and form, and the other is karma, which is love for all. Of the two divisions of jnana, the practice of the true way shown by the master is called yoga, and the resulting state is called jnana. It is natural for all to believe in something which is not seen and then to find it. Those who do not believe can never find. Therefore, the believers will gain something sometimes or other, and the unbelievers never gain anything. You can believe even for the simple reason that faith in God is not harmful. Thereby, you can share the good effects. This world is meant only for creating faith in you. This is the purpose of creation. Have faith and you can reach. See, first thing must be your determination to see God. Then you must have faith. If there is no faith and shraddha, then you cannot meet God. So there must be determination, there must be effort, there must be yearning, desire, deep desire, and there must be faith. Yes, there is God. So this belief should be there, determination should be there, effort should be there. There should be purity of mind, there should be purity of mind, there should be purity of your heart. So you have to put efforts. 10th, though you may not believe all that is said of God, believe at least there is God. This seed is very potent in its growth. It is it is so mighty as to negate all else and fill all by itself. It is so almighty that you will not see anything besides God, not even yourself. truly God is all. So God is all. So we have covered so far three chapters of All is One, Ellam, Ondre. So there is not that much difficult to understand what is this all is one, because everything originated from Brahma. All Atmas, they are belonging to Brahma. There is no difference between Atma and Paramatma. This complete objective world is produced by God. So everything insentient or sentient belongs to God. So that's why unity, absolute. The word absolute means only one, and that only one is God. God is only one. And all the souls, all the sentient, all the insentient object in this world, they are belonging to God only. Their source of origin is God only. So that's what is unity. The basic nature of everybody's soul is Sat Chit Anand, Satchidanand. Because Atma is ever present. Atma is basic nature is peace, tranquility, and bliss. That's why it is called Sat Chit Anand, Satchidanand. Everything in this universe is belonging to God. That's what is known as all is one. Because everything in this world, whether sentient or insentient, is God, and God is one. So that is the meaning of all is one. So, first part of this book I end here, and please share, like, and comment on this video and subscribe my channel. Thank you, my dear friends. Thank you so much.